Where performance matters, you'll find Total Quartz.
Pour le championnat allemand de rallycross avec la production en classe Volkswagen, c'était sur des polos, c'était déjà avec des 1600 en Allemagne.
Hello and welcome to the circuit Paul Ricard Le Castellet in France for round 4 of the FIA World Touring Car Championship, with the flags above this legendary circuit just starting to pick up in a light breeze. We have seen the first glimpse today of the S word. Shh, whisper it. The sun may appear. Air temperature hovering now just under 13 degrees, and the track is actually starting to dry out for the first time since it was dark overnight and the rain began. Well, cars heading through the pit lane and trying a combination of tyres, working out whether all slicks is the way to go, because it's not a wet tyre track any longer, or whether you want slicks on the driven front wheels and wet weather tyres on the rear, which are softer, heat up quicker and might keep the temperature and allow you to control the rear of the car. Most teams, most drivers indeed, seem to have gone for slicks all round, but we'll try and give you an idea of what's on the grid, because some are hedging their bets. But it is drying fast. An hour ago it was definitely looking like a split setup. Now, unless it rains again, in which case all bets are off, it does look as though it's going to be a full slick setup, not a split setup. Well, created in the 1960s by drinks magnate Paul Ricard, after whom the circuit is named, this is part of the long Grand Prix track that was the former home of the French Grand Prix. From the braking area at Quignards, the first corner, we head onto the legendary Mistral Straight. Short chicane and then up to Senior, the signature corner here at Ricard, almost flat in top. And then Beausset, it's as much a factor of racing this track as any other corner. Long, hang-on, never-ending 180-degree plus right-hander, which murders tyres and gives an opportunity for a pursuing driver to profit from a mistake. Through the technical sector to the braking area of Virage du Pont, the end of the lap. Now, you're not likely to pass here, it's too tight, but you'll set up a pass on the front straight if you get a better exit than the man in front. Well, 16 laps of the 3.8-kilometre track. I believe this is a 0-2 layout of the circuit, but I might be wrong. Mehdi Benani of Morocco starts on pole from René Munich, Honda and Chevrolet. Thiago Montero's Castrol Honda third from Gianni Morbidelli, Munich's teammate. Then Dusan Bolkovic and Tom Chilton in their Chevys, ahead of Norbert Michelis and Hugo Vallant in Honda and Chevrolet, respectively. Wait, hold, Martin, where are those Citroens, I hear you say? Well, there's Ivan Mullers. He's in 10th place behind Gabriele Tarquini. 5th placing racer on Rob Huff will start 11th, ahead of Lada teammates Thompson and Kozlowski. John Philippi, pole for the TC2 class, ahead of Franz Engsler and Pasquale Di Sabatino. Well, Martin, the Citroens, I hear you shout again at your television screen. Don't worry, here they are at the back of the grid. Sebastian Loeb and Jose Maria Lopez didn't allow a wet track and starting 17th and 18th to deflate them in race one. Loeb still finished second to Muller and Lopez in 4th place. And in dry conditions, they may have even more of an opportunity to carve through the field. The reason they're at the back here on the final row of the grid is there is a mandatory automatic fuel cut-off system in each of the cars in case there is a fire after an accident and a driver is incapacitated and marshals can't get to the car quickly enough. And that was found not to be working on Jose Maria Lopez's car and Sebastian Loeb's car after qualifying. They worked fine when they were checked in Marrakesh, and the team have done nothing to the car since, so it's a bit of a question mark. We heard Yves Maton, the technical director of the team, say that they will change those items before Hungary in 2 weeks' time. But Sebastian Loeb, second place, and Ivan Muller, first place, were on the top step of the podium from opposite ends of the race 1 grid. Muller started on pole, Loeb last row of the grid, and yet they conspired somehow to meet. Not in the middle, but at the top. Sebastian Loeb, as a result, is our championship leader by 5 from Jose Maria Lopez. And Ivan Muller, 32 points behind overnight, has almost halved that gap. And again starts not the whole field ahead, but at least 10 cars, or 6 cars, ahead of his teammates, and will hope to close the lead on Loeb and Lopez still further this afternoon.
Where performance matters, you'll find Yokohama, your tire.
Chevrolet. Down on the grid, but not with a car to race, is Tom Coronel. He'll be joining me in the booth very shortly after he's had a last quick check on what's going on, especially with tyres on a fast-drying track now the sun is out. Surely there is no option but slicks all round. Norbert Mikulits in his Honda Civic. Damaged steering arm at the end of race 1 hasn't prevented him making the race 2 grid. Very quick work by the team. They'll have had several hours to look at the car, plan exactly what needed doing, but it's always just a little bit of a worry to make sure you get there in time. Well, among the changes to this year's World Touring Car package is a new aero package to help the teams deal with a wider track, bigger tyres and more engine power. And what it has meant, we take a look at this Honda Civic, at 200 kilometers an hour, the drag that the car generates by punching a hole through the air is now around 190 kilos to 130 of the old car, so a near 50% increase in drag. Wheels designed with the front splitter to draw air round through the wheel and then exiting the wheel to help cool your brakes. The brake ducts are no bigger than last year, despite the fact that the cars are faster and have bigger brakes. The front air dam has been greatly increased. The splitter and the new aerodynamics give you around 180 kilos of downforce at the front compared to just 70 previously. And where the rear wing really did almost nothing for you in the past, you're now getting 55 kilos of downforce off the new spec rear wing. What that means then, of course, you've got 180 kilos at the front, 55 at the back. You want a pointy front end on a World Touring Car but you've got to make sure you balance front and rear aero the same as everything else. Well, here on the grid in 6th position is Tom Chilton. He is the Royal Motorsport teammate of Tom Coronel. His car survived the races in Marrakesh. Seems to be quite on top of his game in the wet weather encounter, but he will hope for a little better in the dry conditions. Starting 5th on the grid, as he did for his first ever World Touring Car start. Race 1 in Marrakesh is Dusan Borkovic. Didn't make the top 5 shootout in qualifying yesterday, just outside, but the Serbian driver is really enjoying this championship. He was admitting to being very nervous about being 5th on the grid for his first ever start. He said, I'd much rather start at the back of the grid, but he carried himself off very well indeed in Marrakesh and has become a firm favourite with the crowd and fellow paddock members already. Well, he starts on row 3 of the grid. Row 2, Gianni Morbidelli, the tallest to the shortest driver in the championship, and there has got to be getting on for a metre difference in their height. Gianni Morbidelli, absolutely made for a Formula 1 car, i.e. tiny. And Dusan Borkovic, 2 meters 4, and in real money, that is about 6'10". He reckons about 6'7", but that's definitely not the case. Matt Neal's 6'7", and he towers over Matt and I. So Gianni Morbidelli lines up in 4th place on the grid. Great opportunity for him to try and really get the best out of his Chevrolet Cruze. Alongside him is the Castrol Honda of Thiago Monteiro. Again, the top 10 on the race 1 grid are inverted, or the 6 to 10 in the race 1 grid are inverted, 1 to 5 for race 2. And so Thiago will start on the driver's left on row 2 of the grid. That's the outside line going into the first corner, but now that it is drying up, that is the side of the track that should have more grip. There should be no more running around the outside on the wet weather line. Now, René Munich, last time he was way up on the grid, Salzburg and Austria last year, Rob Huff was telling me earlier he wanted to start from the pit lane instead of getting in the way of the professional drivers. Rob said, no, you can't do that. If you really don't want to mix it with everybody else, go straight on the chicane. That's what he did. And he said again, I want to start from the pit lane here, not the front row. That's for professional drivers. And again, I think he's been encouraged to take his start where it falls. So he will start front row of the grid. And Mehdi Benani, the Moroccan driver who started on pole for race 2 in Marrakesh, gets the chance to do, on the front row in Marrakesh, gets the chance to do the same again here from pole position in France.
Yokohama, your tire.
The big story from Le Castellet at the Circuit Paul Ricard. Sebastian Loeb and Jose Maria Lopez forced to start both races from the back of the grid after problems with the automatic fuel cut-off system in their cars were discovered after qualifying. Their teammate Ivan Muller won race 1, Seb Loeb was second, and Lopez was 4th. So really good run through from them. You saw a smiling Graham Chilton. Chile's son Tom starts in 4th place. And there's a problem getting away from the grid for Gianni Morbidelli. Finally gets the car creeping away, so he will be able to retake his grid spot on the second row of the grid. Martin Haven and Tom Coronel watching the action, and Tommy, we hear that the slow start for Ivan Muller was that he did not select the start sequence button on his steering wheel. He pressed another one by mistake, and that's why the car just kind of crept away rather than full launch control aggressive mode.
Well, then they must have 2 buttons for this, because if the button is not working and you're still on throttle, because it works with full throttle, then you would have had a lot of wheel spin. So I'm surprised by this one. Second of all, it's a professional driver. I mean, in your pole position, you should not push the wrong button. But anyway, these are discussions. Probably the engineer would give me the barking if I would have had this type of excuse. But he won the race, so what's the problem?
Well, let's hear from Rob Huff, 5th in race 1. Very different track, though, for race 2.
So on a very slippery track here, it's definitely everyone on slick tyres, but there's definitely some damp patches. As before, trying to get as much temperature in the brakes and the tyres, especially those rear tyres, are going to play a crucial part in the first couple of laps of the race, especially on the second part of the circuit where it's still really quite wet and damp. Totally different conditions from the first race, and the setup, obviously, we've not been able to change massively, so not quite sure how that's going to work out for us. Kind of hoping that everyone's in the same boat. We've made a few little changes that we could in the time frame that we had, and fingers crossed that'll give us a bit of a stiffer setup. As you can see, working everything as hard as possible, and just trying to get everything nice and warm, trying to keep relaxed before the countdown for the start, make sure I get in my start box properly, and turn the launch limiter up for the dry setting, and hopefully we'll get away as well as we did in the last race.
Thank you, Rob. Tom Coronel, a couple of points that Rob raised. First of all, offline wet. If you're coming from the back of the field, that's the bit you might have to use a lot. So that's going to make the job of Loeb and Lopez even harder.
Yeah, it's difficult to overtake because there's one line who is stable and all the others are wet. So you cannot overtake there because it's slower. So there will be some difficulties here for sure.
Cars forming up on the grid. Our grid is complete. All 18 competitors with 2 of the 3 factory Citroens on the back row of the grid are ready to go. Mehdi Benani and René Munich on the front row. Behind them, Thiago Monteiro and Gianni Morbidelli. The 2 Chevys easy to the spot, black and white. The 2 Hondas, red and white and green. And a slow getaway from Benani. Or was it? It was another classic Thiago Monteiro. Well, that was a Gabriele Tarquini start from Thiago Monteiro. So he's been taking lessons from the old dog. He leads. Benani second. Munich is going to be third. Tom Chilton right up the inside. Great start from Chilton, and Borkovic was alongside him. Bit of bumping and boring. The Citroens have already got by the TC2 class. Oh, and big sideways moment from Tarquini, and that was Borkovic inside Chilton. And René Munich, no, Chilton is still there. René Munich and Gianni Morbidelli still there. And oh, around goes Munich. No, that's Morbidelli. Munich was trying to And Morbidelli rather was trying to take a slightly wider line. Chilton got inside him, and damage, I think, for Tom Chilton's car. He comes off the chicane on a very, well, that's Norbert Mikulits. All right, so it's too many black cars. Montero leads from Banani and Munich still in third. Tarquini fourth. Great start from Gabrielli. Where was he on the grid? Oh, only ninth, up to fourth place in a couple of corners. But Tom, this massive group behind is going to go a little bit pear-shaped. He's got 2 Citroens in it already.
Yeah, for sure. It's the mixture is interesting because it means that some faster drivers need to make up some places. But it seems like a very strange first 3 corners. My teammate Tom Chilton, I think, was touching in the first corner a few people, and also into the chicane. I think that was Gianni Morbidelli.
I think you're right.
Yeah, and here he is in front.
Yeah, he's in 7th. Well, that's Jose Maria Lopez from 17th, in front of Ivan Muller from 10th. Mikulits in trouble. He had a steering arm changed before he went out to the grid. It looks like that might not have been all his problems. Car number 12 is Rob Huff, struggling in the dry.
Lopez had a brilliant start from the back of the grid in 1 lap to P7.
Made up 10 places. Loeb goes by Vallant, who's going very slowly. Huff on the outside, Loeb on the inside, makes up 2 places in 1 corner. Wow, I tell you what, these Citroën drivers really are using every bit of performance the car has got. There's Dusan Borkovic in 5th, but the interest is behind. Bits flying off there, off somebody's car, not quite sure whose. Hugo Vallant going very slowly. Norbert Mikulits also struggling. Vallant going backwards fast, I'm afraid. Montero pulling away from Banani and Munich and Tarquini, and then Borkovic and Chilton. That's your top 6. Then Lopez and Muller. And Muller will sit behind Lopez, I think, and allow the Argentine to open the door. Ooh, there you go. As soon as I say that, he tries to pass his teammate anyway. Now, if he hadn't had that lunge, Tom, he might have got past Chilton as well.
Yeah, well, it's already quite impressive how he's overtaking the inside of my teammate's car, because I know what this car is capable of finding the grip, but somehow they have so much more grip on the inside.
Fantastic move from Jose Maria Lopez, passing inside, outside. Now he's lining up Dusan Borkovic, and he will see the Citroën coming straight down the inside of the hairpin. And it's Citroën to Citroën contact. And Sebastian Loeb gets his nose in alongside the rear wheel of Ivan Muller, and the door is suddenly closed. Now, is that going to cause problems for Loeb? They spent a day trying to knock bits off the car in testing, so they knew that things like that wouldn't damage them. He should be okay.
Oh, Borkovic goes sideways under the braking. He is losing the rear with Sebastian Loeb on the inside.
And Tom Chilton right behind, and then the bright yellow colours of Hugo Vallant. It looked like Borkovic was just a little off the racing line on the wet stuff, and the tail snapped away from him. Loeb couldn't capitalise in that tight little hairpin corner. On board with Sebastian Loeb, down the Mistral straight. He pulls out from behind Dusan Borkovic, or does he? This is a moment or two ago. Borkovic skating wide, and there was contact with Loeb there. That's the second hit that left front corner of the Citroën has taken. And in the middle of this battle is René Munich, car number 77. He is more than happy to move out the way and let the professionals who are racing for the championship get on with it. He just enjoys driving these cars. He said, I'm not here to make life tough for anybody. And, you know, when you are in a championship battle, having a guy who will get out of the way without holding either driver up is actually great news. Dusan Borkovic, however, is giving Sebastian Loeb a tough time of it. Oh, up the inside, and again he sticks his nose inside, and again Borkovic gives him racing room and survives, and Tom Chilton's getting a run on Loeb, who squeezes him up against the pit wall and cuts him right off. Do you think Sebastian Loeb needs to learn much about touring car racing? I think he's got pretty much what he needs.
It's an aggressive driver. He's really trying. You saw that he tried to put the nose in at the last corner of Borkovic, and he was even locking up the wheels, because when the camera was on his car, you're...
Yeah. He's been watching some videos and taking some lessons from the best, and Hugo Vallant gets it wrong under braking again. Tom, when you're away from the line, maybe just on the curb or on the paint, it's so much less grippy, and he just skated wide. Norbert Michelic tried to get by in the Honda. That Zengo Motorsport car doesn't seem to be as quick as the Castrol cars or the Pro Team car of our race leader, our second place man, Mehdi Benani. So you've got Honda 1, 2, 3 at the moment as the Citroens work their way through from further down the order.
There was a small coming together between Michelic and Vallant. He didn't give him any space. He just moved to the outside, and then they touched, and then Michelic cut the circuit. He went on the wrong side of the tire barrier at the chicane, which to me is no problem, because he was trying to avoid an accident.
Yeah, absolutely. Now the stewards will look at the incident between Tom Chilton and car number 10, Gianni Morbidelli. Morbidelli's now recovering from the tail of the field as we look at the battle for second. Gabriele Tarquini chasing Mehdi Benani, whose front splitter, of course, he used in Marrakesh, because the rest of Tarquini's car was a bit banana-shaped after being hit by Gianni Morbidelli in free practice.
It's of course a little bit painful to see Benani here running on second, but until now he's doing a good job.
Well, it's worth underlining, Tom, you know, you guys race hard, but you do get on well out of the car. And I mean, we saw, you know, your conversation with him on the grid in Marrakesh last week, and you know, that's an incident like that is not going to hopefully sour relationships between drivers who get on so well.
Ah, well, you know how people behave on the circuit. For me, on the circuit and outside the circuit are two completely different things. So no, I'm not worried. I know it's a reasonable, clever person. Probably in Marrakesh he was a little bit more hot, and yeah, you know, we can have many discussions whose fault it was, but it's over. It doesn't help to discuss it. I'm not here just because of that accident, but I'll be back in Hungary.
Absolutely. Well, Tarquini moves up to second, Benani in third. So Castrol, Honda 1-2, Thiago Monteiro leading Gabriele Tarquini by 3.5 seconds. Fastest lap of the race, though, for the man in fourth place, who is now right with Benani. Jose Maria Lopez, Ivan Muller with him. Sebastian Loeb in 8th place. Don't forget that Lopez, if they finish as they are, will retake the championship lead from Loeb, who finished second in race 1. And Muller will close a little bit on Loeb, but not on Lopez. It's a fantastic battle of performance going on. Lopez around the outside, squirrely under braking, but Tom, that was like a car in a different class driving around Benani's Honda then.
Well, I have seen this also in race 1, that Sebastian Loeb was overtaking Huff on the outside of the first corner. You know, that's impressive. That means that the setup must be really a lot stronger than the others, because otherwise that's impossible, because everybody is on the limit in that corner.
Looking back from Benani, here comes Muller getting alongside. And Benani, like everybody else, is going to accept the inevitable. He's driven around the outside of me, out of the hairpin. Well, he's going to go by me in a straight line, there's no question about that. If you've got that much in a drag race at the start, then your rival will never catch you back. So Lopez and Muller move up to third and fourth. One Citroen already on the podium from the back row of the grid.
Yeah, but it's quite easy what's going to happen here. Thiago Monteiro is leading the race with 4.5 seconds from Gabriele. So Gabriele now has Lopez and Ivan Muller to take care of, which I think is going to be a difficult task. But for sure, Tarquini will try to keep them behind. But that is in the benefit of Thiago Monteiro, because 4.5 seconds in 11 laps, that's nearly impossible.
Yeah, okay, I would give you that definitely. Tom Chilton, incidentally, in the black Chevrolet, the Capsicum car, back in front of Sebastian Loeb. So he's repassed the Frenchman, and here's where he did it, into the first corner. No contact there. Loeb's camera showing that Chilton dived on the inside, and Loeb just a fraction too late. And we're talking the blink of an eye too late, Tom, not a second or two. It's fractions, hundredths of a second too late. You just overstep the mark by a car length.
This is the battle for second, which will be very interesting. Oh, Tarquini makes a mistake.
Yep, gets
a big
in.
one.
Big mistake. Round the outside goes Lopez, round the outside, the other side goes Ivan Muller. They both go by, and I thought Tarquini's chance there was to hold up Lopez, allow Muller to catch Lopez, allow Muller to attack Lopez, which he will want to do to get in front of the Argentine. But as it was, a miscue from Tarquini gave away second place, and you don't see many big mistakes.
Oh, what happened?
Oh.
There's a safety car.
Safety car is out. Why? All three sectors of the racetrack are yellow.
This is a good possibility for of course Lopez and Muller.
Game over, I'm afraid, for Thiago Monteiro. Not a chance he's going to win a race with Lopez and Muller starting right behind him. Okay, so this is Loeb, Borkovic and Chilton. Whoa! I bet he still finishes the race. Loeb went straight into the tyres. Again, a gap that was there when he turned in wasn't. He did actually have a little bump from Dusan Borkovic, but not from Borkovic's point of view. You know, he didn't push Loeb off on the outside. Loeb tried to cut the corner just a little too much. So in the notes there, don't cut. So safety car is out. Bruno Correa employed in the Alpha 4C.
But what's now the situation of Loeb? He's still driving.
Yeah, it's like an Audi. That car's going to finish the race. Safety car is out here in Marrakesh, halfway through the race. This is lap 8 of 16, and Andrea Adamo and the rest of the guys on the Castrol Honda pit wall, Tom Coronel, they've just seen any chance of a win evaporate. There's no way that they're going to run away from the Citroens with no advantage.
No, as the princess of Lopez is, of course, very worried, but I think she should be happy because now the gap of 4.5 seconds, it just came out as a present from Sebastian Loeb. That means that Lopez and Muller have a lot better chance to win this race. But don't underestimate Thiago. Thiago is a big fighter. I have had a lot of battles with him, and he never gives up.
Yep, I know, absolutely, I agree. He's certainly not going to pull over. However, we've seen from the grip that the Citroens generate, if he gets away from them, he'll be doing really well. Great start from Thiago, from third on the grid. Really just streaked through to lead right from the first corner. This is the view. Listen to the wheel spin from Mehdi Benani, just endless wheel spin, couldn't get it regulated. And the problem, Tom, with a turbocharged engine is as soon as the wheels start spinning, the turbo spins up and produces more power, and that means more wheel spin. Yeah,
even if you want to short shift, as here we saw Tom Chilton have a little coming together with
Gianni Morbidelli.
Gabriele and Gianni Morbidelli. Yeah. But the car's still in, still driving.
Jose Maria Lopez.
No, it's with the wheel spin is quite interesting because sometimes you try to short shift, but once you do that and once the wheeling is there, it just keeps spinning.
Well, let's have a little listen to what Rob Huff is thinking of the race so far. He's in 12th place.
So it looks like we've got about 12 laps left to go. Tough start, really tough start. I jumped Ivan in the Citroen off the line and then had to take to the outside down into turns 1, 2 and 3. Got pushed a little bit wide. So definitely some aggressive driving going on from these guys. It's good being out here. It's a little bit tough, like I say, or for sure it's very tough. Car seems to be working quite well. Just being told the safety car is in this lap, but so far so good. Car seems to be going well. The track is still a little bit slippery on some apexes. I'm going to hand back over to you guys now because I need to get ready for this restart.
Thank you, Rob. So Rob Huff getting ready to restart, so are we. Martin Haven and Tom Coronel, who will be back in his Royal Motorsport Chevrolet for the races in Hungary in 2 weeks' time, and I'm sure he can't wait for that. There's your teammate Tom Chilton, who lies in 7th place as we get ready for the safety car to come back in. So last couple of corners here at the famous Circuit Paul Ricard, just outside the village of Le Castellet, 45 kilometers from Marseille in the south of France. And after a wet day all round, what is pretty much a dry track ready for the second half of this race.
It's always interesting. Always interesting, when you're behind the safety car as the driver, because the top guy he decides when to take the speed. As you see, he's waving, and then boom, you accelerate, and then you hope there is not a gap in between too big if you are a little bit further behind.
So getting ready to go, the Citroen Racing guys.
And they're close.
Yeah, right behind. Jose Maria Lopez in second place. Ivan Muller in third place. Sebastian Loeb in ninth place, car number 9. Thiago goes defensive very early, expecting Lopez to use the outside line, and cuts him off at the apex, but Muller's in the other mirror. This is not going to be easy. It's lap 9 of now 17, and Muller's already trying to get the lead away from Lopez, or second place at least.
Yeah, but don't underestimate it. They are teammates and they have to respect each other. But as you see in the slow motion, Ivan Muller was cutting with 4 wheels off the circuit. There is a rule, you have to be with 2 wheels on the black stuff. And check the replay. Oy, oy, oy. This could be a discussion.
And John Philippi has hit a tyre stack somewhere. And that is, has he hit Pasquale Di Sabatino? Oh no, or Franz Engsler. Yikes. Hits him in the door. Doesn't look like any damage to Engsler's car, but we should see a safety car again. Incidentally, drive-through penalty for Tom Chilton, who's been adjudged guilty of at least one of the 2 incidents. That's, I'm guessing it's the Morbidelli facing backwards one. And young Frenchman John Philippi, the medical car is with him. It was a pretty big hit, Tom. He stopped almost dead from kind of 80-90 kilometers an hour, and that knocks the wind out of your sails a bit.
This is the difficulty, you know, when you're behind the safety car, everything cools down, your tires, your brakes, and then directly you're hot in the race again, and probably he overshoot himself, as you saw, because first we thought he was going to touch the Sabatini, but he even hit Engsler, so it was a big mistake. But it went into the side, and the side of the BMW is really strong. So yeah, he stopped directly there, but the front suspension is broken, so it's not easy to take the car away out of this position. Yeah.
Well, they're going to have to drag it rather forcibly out of the way. He is out of the car, which is always very good news. And down at the first corner, work to do. And Muller, yeah, see, that's why we have racing drivers in the booth. All 4 wheels off. Racing drivers see things that mere mortals don't. And well, Lopez and Muller wheel to wheel.
It's not that I see, but I would have done the same.
Well, there you go. No penalty for that at the moment. And, you know, generally in racing, if you don't make up a place, then that's okay. But again, from right behind with Gabriele Tarquini, seeing Muller and Lopez battle, he's going, go on, hit each other, go off. Waiting for the door to open so he can go by to make it a 1-2 behind Thiago.
Also the difficulty now, in the front you have the radiator, in the front you have the oil cooler, so it will be very slippery now at the entry of corner number 1. So if you see somebody making a mistake there, it's just because of the liquid on the floor.
Yeah, the antifreeze or the coolant they use is very little water and very heavily chemical, and that becomes very slippery indeed, and the oil down there as well, bits of carbon and stuff, hopefully will all be swept up. So what that's done is it's changed the lead in the class in TC2. Engsler was in front of Di Sabatino. Pasquale is now ahead of France. Let's hear now from Rob Huff as we hopefully will get ready to go a second time.
So, as I'm sure the guys upstairs have said, safety cars breed safety cars, and it's exactly what's happened here. Looks like on the restart, two of the TC2 cars have come together down at turn 1, bit of debris down there. Turn 3 is going to be quite interesting now because the tyres have moved quite a lot, so allowing us typical touring car boys to be as greedy as possible and take as much curve as possible. So if you're a photographer, perhaps go and stand down there. Chilton's just gone in the pits, interesting position gain there. Not sure what's up with Tom's car, but he's just pulled in the pits. And the safety car just trying to keep everything up to temperature without overheating it, so it's just a case of leaning on the brakes a bit, keeping the exhaust and turbo temperatures down, short shifting, low RPM, and no real debris down there at turn 1, so that's good to see. So we don't need to be too careful coming down there on the first go. Looks like safety car is going to be coming in this lap, so again, time to get ready.
Thank you, Rob. Well, he was seeing Tom Chilton come down the pit lane, but Tom Coronel taking a drive-through penalty behind a safety car, I'm not sure is going to be allowed. I think he's still going to have to do a drive-through. Whatever, a drive-through penalty has ruined your race anyway, so, you know, he's going to be at the back. Yeah, I don't know this type of regulation because, as you said, your race is over anyway. And that's why you have a team manager who does know the rule book. So on board with Gabriele Tarquini, a Honda and 2 Citroens right in front. Thiago Montero is our race leader from Jose Maria Lopez, who has a big lock up there, and Ivan Muller. I think Lopez was expecting Montero to be going quite so slowly at the end of that long right-hander at Beausset. Well, with the front-wheel drive car, this is, to be honest, you're driving always on 3 wheels. People think, okay, why the inside wheel is up in the air, but this is typical front-wheel drive racing. You're always on 3 wheels, so once you're in a corner, you lock up very easy. Safety car in as Thiago Montero leads us away. The onboard view from Gabriele Tarquini in 4th place. Are we going to have a Citroen 1-2 or a Castrol Honda 1-2 here? That depends on Jose Maria Lopez and maybe Tom Coronel, more importantly, on Ivan Muller and how clean the battle between them is to be the best of the Citroen. Sebastian Loeb behind Dusan Borkovic. Is he going down the inside into turn 1 as he has done so many times? See Borkovic's car flapping some panels. Yep, straight down the inside, finds the oil and the lubricant and is suddenly very sideways. Sebastian is greedy, and I can understand this type of situation because, well, he's the leader in the championship and he's just seeing that Lopez and Muller are almost in the lead, so they will take a lot of points. So he's greedy. With only 6 laps to go, yeah, you know. Down the inside, the slippery stuff was there from John Philippi's Seat, and he found it. No big moment for him, but just enough to drop him back another couple of car lengths. Drive-through penalty for car 3 still to be applied, and the incident between car 6 and 27 to be sorted out as well. Well, obviously nobody has spotted Loeb driving into anybody. No, but this was racing. They were touching, and we still are driving with touring cars. Absolutely, we need to rub a little bit, otherwise it will be boring. And also these drivers, they are used to it. Oh, somebody overshoot himself. Yeah. Who went straight? Shot straight off. I think that was Norbert Mikulits or James Thompson. Norbert Mikulits, I think. Thiago Montero still leads from Jose Maria Lopez. What about Ivan Muller? Thiago needs Ivan to really start attacking. Oh, it was René Munich who overshot himself. Incidentally, the incident between Philippi and Engstler is the one that the stewards will investigate. And I don't think that Engstler is going to be found guilty for that, even in the stewards' room. Thiago Montero still leads, and again, Tom Coronel takes the inside line, defending hard against Lopez and Muller. Muller's just going to sit there, isn't he, until Pachito opens the door. Yeah, this is a funny one because he was trying on the outside, but he did that before, and then Ivan Muller put his nose in. And as you just saw, the second corner, they all cut with 4 wheels. Yeah, this is what Huffy said. This is how we are. I mean, it's possible, and with the touring car, you know, yeah, what's allowed, what's not allowed. This is the way you race. Absolutely right. So René Munich has gone from 6th to 11th with that mistake, and Lopez on the inside at senior buries it flat in top inside Thiago Montero, and he's got the grip to get away with it. Well, congratulations to everybody applauding the driver's move, because it's the engineers and the designers that are giving them the car to do it. Little drag of Ivan's rear wheel arch on the nose of Thiago's car as he goes through. So they're past the Honda, and now the battle between the 2 Citroens will begin, between Jose Maria Lopez and Ivan Muller for victory here. Yeah, it's a special race because if you start at the back of the grid and you can win, then you've also had a little bit of luck with the safety car situation. But anyway, Lopez is doing very clever, high risky move, and directly Ivan Muller could take benefit out of it as well, because of course this unbalanced Thiago a little bit. And that's what Muller wanted, for Lopez to just stick his nose in somewhere so Thiago can't keep the door shut, and then hopefully 2 can go through as easily as 1. The problem now for Muller is Lopez isn't going to be easy to catch. Listen, we knew when we turned up in Marrakesh, one of the 3 Citroen drivers was going to be the world champion this year, unless there was some crazy act of God, and they knew it too. And for 24 races, they know it's them or their teammates. The rest of them are part of the game as well, but for the World Championship title, it's me or him. Yeah. And that makes life very difficult.
Yes, but the leader at the moment is in big trouble because he's already for 6-7 laps behind Bogovic, and he doesn't seem to overtake him anywhere. He's not a lot stronger somewhere. Probably it's because he has some damage on the right front, because we would have expected him to overtake Bogovic more easy.
Well, first of all, he's got damage to the bodywork, and that's going to disrupt the aeroflow, so there's going to be a little less on turning, a little less front grip. Secondly, he is right behind Borkovic, so the dirty air behind Borkovic will upset the front end of Loeb's car as well. He's going to have to keep lunging down the inside under braking, where you don't need so much aerodynamics, because he's not going to catch him through the corners. He is all over the Serbian driver, but again, Borkovic, don't forget, this is only race 4 ever in the World Touring Car Championship for both those guys, but one man is a 9-time world champion in his chosen discipline before, so Borkovic is doing a great defensive job holding up Loeb. And whether hitting that tyre stack has deranged the front end of Loeb's car or not remains to be seen. Mikulits under pressure from Valent, and Huff is going to try and stick his nose in there as well. It's a little bit like their battle in race 1, just a bit further back down the order, that's all. And Huffy's got a good drive there, hasn't he? Cuts back. And Tom, he wasn't looking to make a move there, was he? But he was trying to make Valent look, distract him when he's getting into the braking zone. Yeah, that's for sure, because the straight is too short there, and the braking zone is also too short there to make an overtaking maneuver. And also, you know that the next corner is going to the right. Bernani in trouble. Borkovic is driving around the outside, or trying to. Bernani has suddenly dropped off the pace. His best lap a 33.3, his last a 34.0. Oh, they're touching. And Borkovic tries to get inside, and here's the chance for Sebastian Loeb. Borkovic drifts a little offline. He has to get on the brakes. Loeb's up the inside. He's no mug at this game, is he? Loeb sees an opportunity in capital letters in every chance, and through he goes. He's been waiting a long time for that. He's in 6th. But Bernani doesn't seem to lose speed. Probably he just made a small mistake there, because he's not losing speed now. Well, if you make a mistake in the exit of that chicane, you're going to be slower all the way along the straight, aren't you? And that's, you know, it pays off at the end what happens at the beginning. The straight we go. Is that wheel spin as Bernani rode the curbs there? I think it might have been. Sebastian Loeb is right behind us as we sit in 4th. So it's Citroen 1-2, Castrol Honda 3-4, Bernani in 5th for the moment. Loeb throws it at the apex. Couldn't quite close. But part of that, Tom, really showing strongly on the inside again, is to keep Bernani looking in his mirrors, to unsettle his concentration. Well, Bernani as a driver has some experience in the championship, but there are possibilities. I mean, he's of course a good driver, but still to do this for what is it, 15, 16 laps or 18 laps is not easy. But we have only 2 laps to go, so Sebastian Loeb needs to make a move, because further up he won't come to. The maximum he can do is 5th. Good battle at the moment. This is Bernani in 5th. Bernani, Loeb, Borkovic, Mikulits, then Valent, and now on board with Huff. So this is 5th position down to 10th place. 6 cars, all covered by a car length or 2 between them. Valent taking a very different line, and Huffy looking to the inside. Stay with it, stay with it. Contact. They touched. Had to happen. Valent trying to get the door closed too late, and Gianni Morbidelli, who was nowhere on the straight, drives by them both. Sometimes, Tommy, the door opens for you and you didn't even knock. It's nice to get presence, and Valente is now even touching with Gianni Morbidelli. Last lap for the leader, Jose Maria Lopez. He's 1.1 ahead of Ivan Muller. He's going to have to give it away. Loeb still not by Bernani. He's got by Borkovic. And Valent suddenly much slower onto the straight. Is he waiting to pay Rob back? No, Morbidelli's got away from him. Oh, and Lopez, I beg your pardon, Loeb trying for 5th around Bernani. And like in race 1, going, yeah, like Huff did, okay, you can try going around the outside all day long. You better be really good there, though. Apex at turn 4, onto the Mistral straight for the final time for our battle for 5th place. Is he going to get him? He's close, he's going to throw it up the inside into Senior, isn't he? Bernani's guarding the inside, now comes onto the racing line, no chance for Loeb there, but can Bernani hold the car all the way around Beausset?
The gap is too big, so I don't see any possibility that he is trying to overtake him here.
Loeb's got company from behind. If he misses his passing attempt, Borkovic will go straight by. He could lose more than he'll gain. Last couple of corners for Jose Maria Lopez. There will be no challenge from Ivan Muller. Muller will take the bag of points and take the pain of Lopez finishing in front of him again. Jose Maria Lopez wins again in the World Touring Car Championship. He's now started 6 races. He's now won 3. He's got a 50% winning start record. That's insane. Muller second, Montero and Tarquini third and fourth for Castrol Honda, fifth Mehdi Bennani for the Pro Team Honda, and in sixth is Sebastian Loeb, still from the last row of the grid. Not any kind of a bad result, but Pachito's girlfriend looks very happy with that. Wow. So Jose Maria Lopez, 18th and last on the grid to first in race 2. That is some impressive driving, as our race winner in TC2 is Frans Hengst.
The FIA. Yokohama, your tire.
Cash, didn't it? Tom Coronel, you know that feeling, don't you? And it's just one of the most wonderful sensations for any sportsman, is to win a tough one. And that was a tough one. Last to first for Jose Maria Lopez.
Unbelievable strong drive. A good guy. Let's wait and see how the others will react on it, because you saw Loeb was in a hurry. He's making mistakes in the first race. I didn't see him make any mistakes, so I thought, wow, he's like a robot, but no, he's a human being. He tried 4 or 5 times to overtake Borkovic on the outside, then he tried on the inside, and it was good to see that at least he was attacking.
Oh yeah, no question. He was attacking till the very last corner on the very last lap. But Jose Maria Lopez, as you said, recent experience, the TC 2000 series in Argentina is a very tight and competitive touring car championship, and their cars, again, powerful front-wheel drive cars like these, the perfect breeding ground for him. He's come in here with, well, you know, has been perhaps the least, well, not perhaps in Europe, certainly definitely the least well-known of the trio, and yet he is our championship leader and has now 2 wins in 2 race weekends for Citroën Racing. Impressive stuff. And when you count him against his teammates, then you really see the quality of the man. So let's hear from Pechito. Alex is down there with him. What a happy bunny.
Well, here we are, race 2 World Touring Car Championship, and Jose Maria Lopez, congratulations. What a race, 18th to 1st.
I can't believe it. I don't want to be modest, but we had such a good car, and you know, all the merit is to the team. It's much easier, you know, when your car is working. Of course, you know, we're lucky, you know, a bit of determination, a good start. I think my first lap, I don't know, I was already P6, I don't know, it was very good.
Yep, first lap, you went from 18th, you 10 positions.
Yeah, there was a little bit of mess in between, but yes, I'm really happy. I'm really happy. Thanks to the team, to all the guys. I'm living a dream, I think.
You certainly are, and I believe you might be the one to watch for the championship.
I don't think about it, you know. This is such a mix of feelings. This morning after the race, of course, I was happy, but I had Seb and Ivan that were quicker than me. You know, after you work, you jump in the car, and then, you know, okay, you find the good confidence, and here I am. But it's going to be like this. Sometimes you can be good, sometimes you can be bad, so you have to enjoy the moment. And we see, I don't think about the championship. You know, I'm still trying to learn and give to Citroën Racing and every guy in the team who trusted me, as I said before. I can give to them, you know, this.
Congratulations, well done, really impressive.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Tom Coronel, I think we can only echo that. Really excellent job from Jose Maria Lopez. Let's hear from Tiago Monteiro. Ben has caught up with the Portuguese driver.
Best of the rest in race 2 here is Tiago Monteiro. Tiago, an amazing first start. You had a huge lead.
Yeah, I was really trying to get away as much as possible, as you could see. A great start, and then just the car was fantastic on these conditions. You know, a little semi-damp kind of situation. I just pulled away as much as possible. I was hoping the Citroens will be held back as much as possible with my the other Hondas and my teammates and stuff. Unfortunately, I have no idea who destroyed those tires, but I want to have a talk to that guy because he really destroyed my slight chance of winning this race. So
he's a 9-time World Rally Champion.
All right, okay, I'm still gonna have a talk with him. But anyway, yeah, I mean, after that, for sure, it was gonna be always difficult. I tried my best to hold them back, but of course, they are still. We improved for sure compared to Marrakesh. We are a lot closer, but we still need to improve. Give us a bit of time, we'll get there.
Enjoy the podium.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, the irony in Sebastian Loeb destroying the tyres that brought out the safety car that killed Tiago Monteiro's lead. Tom Coronel, if he'd stayed 5 seconds away from Lopez and Muller would have attacked Lopez. He could well have ended up winning this. Well, let's hear now from our TC2 winner. Alex is with Franz Engstler, looking happy once more.
Yes, TC2 winner here, World Touring Car Championship in Paul Ricard. Franz Engstler, you are unstoppable.
Yes, of course. Now, today is my first victory. I'm really happy. I had a really big crash with Philippe in the restart from the safety car. And yeah, now first I finished the race, and then if I can win the race, that was really big. Thanks to my team, did a great job. Thanks a lot, guys.
Well done. Well done.
And thanks to Tommy Zolkar. But hey, Tommy, he bent your car. It's not perfect anymore.
No, but it's still driving. It's very strong, and this is just cosmetic. It's outside, you know. No, it's a good car. He's happy with my my ex-BMW.
Yep. And he managed to get back in front of teammate Pasquale Di Sabatino. 1-2 for Engstler BMW in the TC2 class. So Jose Maria Lopez winning by 1.8 seconds from Ivan Muller, who relinquished his challenge for the lead in the last few laps. Tiago Monteiro on the podium. Could have been very different, bar the safety car. And Sebastian Loeb from 17th to 6th. By anybody's standards, that's not a bad afternoon. He'll be disappointed that Pechito went from 18th to 1st, though, and that's just crept a little bit of daylight. But I think Jose Maria Lopez is correct. You've got to just drive every race. When we get to Macau, that's the day to start thinking about the championship. Before then, it's premature, Tom.
Well, all the others have experience in Macau, so Lopez has some work to do at that circuit because it's not easy. And once you make a mistake there, I mean, you have a handicap for the rest of the weekend, as I know because I've driven there now 12 times. But at the moment he's in good shape, he looks strong and he has good confidence, and those are the most important things.
And Muller started the morning 32 points off the lead, now only 20 off the lead. The top 3 spread a little further apart, and Ivan will be happier today than after Marrakesh, that's for sure. Jose Maria Lopez, though, our championship leader after his 2nd race weekend in World Touring Cars. Well, after a wet race 3 here in Paul Ricard, a dry track for race 4 changed the game completely. And it could almost have ended up being a super successful day for Tiago Monteiro. But a safety car put paid to his hopes of winning the race, and the Citroens once more fought their way through to claim their 4th race win of the season.
Veuillez accueillir sur le podium du championnat du monde FIA des voitures de tourisme pour cette deuxième course.
Fourth race in the 2014 FIA World Touring Car Championship, like the previous 3, sees a Citroen driver on the top step of the podium. And for the 2nd time this year, it'll be Jose Maria Lopez. But for Thiago Monteiro, it's an afternoon perhaps of what could have been. He still looks very happy with third position. He's on the podium. Ivan Muller in second place, and Tom Coronel 32 points away this morning, only 20 away, and only 6 behind Loeb this evening. He'll be a little happier. But the biggest smile, Jose Maria Lopez, I guess.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's like a dream. If you start last and you can still win the race, I mean, this is unbelievable.
Well, there's no question the Citroen is a good car, but give it to me, it wouldn't have gone from last to first, it would have gone backwards from last.
But give it to me, I would have loved to try it.
All right, there you go. Frans Hengsler is our race winner in the Yokohama Trophy, and now we'll hear the national anthem from our race winner, the anthem of Argentina. And the anthem for our winning constructor, Total Citroen Racing, the anthem of France. By heart before the end of the season, aren't we? So to present the fabulous trophies here at Paul Ricard, to our podium finishers. And these are great looking trophies, Tom Coronel. You know, we've got lots of cups, lots of plates, lots of vases. These are great, really reflect the sport that you participate in.
It's something different than the normal cups. I even give my trophies away on Twitter or Facebook if it's a normal trophy. But one of these I will keep myself. It's a clutch, it's the house of a clutch with, what is it?
Conrod, pistons, springs,
and so, springs and so on. And so they're just parts of a car. And yes, it's a really good idea. Some exhaust I see here, it's bigger,
spark plugs and
spark plug. Where does the WTCC thing come off the back?
There you go. Some very inventive pricing. It's like when you win in Japan and you get one of the ceremonial masks. Those are the ones you're never going to give away, because that tells everybody exactly where it came from.
Or the ones you get in Monaco, because I use them to put my fruit in the kitchen.
Perfect. There you go. So congratulations to all our racers on a fantastic weekend's entertainment. My huge thanks as well to Tom Coronel. Tommy, we look forward to seeing you on grid, on track, back where you belong, behind the steering wheel, not behind the microphone, when we get to Hungary. But thank you so much, as ever, a fantastic job in the booth. And thank you also to Ben Costenduris and to Alex Legui down in the pit lane on behalf of the whole World Touring Car Championship TV crew here in Le Castellet. I'm Martin Hayden saying Joyeuse Pâques, happy Easter, enjoy the rest of your holidays, and we will see you a fortnight from now in Hungary.
The FIA WTCC is delivered by DHL. Where performance matters, you'll find Total Quartz.